guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Yolanda and don't mind the hair. I'm literally in the progress of trying to do another hairstyle, so bear with me here. But welcome to my channel. My name is Yolanda and today's video I'm going to be to you guys a video on how you can start a channel, a YouTube channel in 2025 and just growing in the area. So I'm here to help you guys. I get this question so many times by so many people, and so here's my video to help you guys. So if you're excited for this, please be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to turn on post notification notified when I post. If ever, let's go on to this video. So a little bit about my background and everything and how I got started, but basically I have been making content like unofficially since I was in, I'd say, around 5th grade time. I was actually inspired by my older brother and I just loved how he made content. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that too. And I had so much fun. Yeah, like literally, like my storage is full to this day from my first email that I had, because it was filled on Google Photos with all of my videos and pictures. But I was an addict, and so it was something that definitely like instantly fell in love with, and I always yearned for a YouTube channel. And finally, when it was in 2020, my mom said I could finally do YouTube. And but of course, like, you know, the limits and restrictions, and one of the restrictions was I wasn't able to show my face. So if you do look back to my older content, like I try to like hide my face and yada yada yada, not show my school and stuff, but eventually like I just stepped into it and I just like made it more public and had like my face plastered all around. But I've been doing this, been in the game for quite a bit, since honestly consistent since 2020, and it's been quite phenomenal. And you know, a lot of people ask me like, oh my gosh, like how did you get like that many subscribers and your views don't really match? And yes, I know. And you know what, along the way, throughout the past like 5 years, I have learned so much, made many mistakes, but it's brought me to where I'm at now. And I feel confident now going into like the future content and stuff that I'm making, like implementing the things that I know and that I have learned to be able to, you know, be more successful, whatever that may look like, you know, on this channel. And so I want to be here to help you guys start your journey. And I know it can be like, it's a lot in itself, but you know, I got you, we got this. And so yeah, that's just my background. You know, for those, so the kind of content that I made back then, it wasn't like anything inappropriate, but it's so embarrassing. But I got millions and millions of views in 2020 and I was trying to monetize. Then I had issues with that, so I ended up privating and deleting all my videos, and then I had to start over once I realized I actually couldn't get them back. And trying to rebuild back up, I was very inconsistent, and I used to have like lots of views and then seeing like the 200 views, I was like, oh. But when you think about it, if you're actually in a room with 200 people, that's a lot. But at the end of the day, like, you know, like my mindset and everything and just my intentions changed, and you know, it just came like such a great area. But now like I'm doing it because I love it. I've always done it because I love it, but like sometimes, like, you know, the views and the likes and the money can get to your head, you know. But overall though, like, it's something I enjoy. I want to continue to pursue. That's just like my background and all. I really do appreciate all the support, even all the people that might have not the best comments, that might be a little bit negative, which I still refuse to respond to, because why would I waste my energy on that? But for those who have been with me for so long, literally one of my closest friends watches me all the time, and literally I love you. So if you're watching this, Mary, I love you. But anyway though, so going into the other things now, we're going into the tips and tricks and things that I wish I would have done. And so yeah, let's get on with this video. One of the big things that I feel like a lot of people overlook, but it's important, like it's like okay to like switch here and there. I've definitely made drastic changes, especially from what I used to first post up to now. Like now my content is more like lifestyle and like college and like just things going on in my life, and that makes it so much easier because it's like I'm just taking you guys along with me, you know, day to day, and that's really fun. But you know, don't do like a niche that you're not interested in. Like if it's finances and you know you're bad with money or bad with numbers and stuff, like maybe it's not the best, because at the end of the day you want to do something like that you're passionate about, something that you actually like and enjoy. Because if you're not enjoying it, why would you think other people would be if you're not like, because I feel like when you're passionate and like you're having fun of something, like people can feel it in a sense through the camera. But if you're not like, you know, if I'm talking about like, oh yeah, so like this is how you can like earn $50 in a minute or whatever, like that's kind of monotone. It's kind of like like this is like a bad example, but just to say, like, you want to do something that you actually enjoy. And like, yes, I get it, like, you know, it can be hard, you know, wanting to do videos and them not performing well, but then, you know, seeing other performers do, other like public figures do videos and those like wanting to follow the trend. And I think that honestly it's good to do a mix of both. Do videos that you like and do videos that, you know, you think, you know, if like going like on the bandwagon for everybody else to do it. And I feel like when it's like a perfect mix, then it's like it's good, you know, because like oftentimes I've definitely dealt with like burnout and stuff when I've tried to like be somebody or do certain types of videos and stuff that I know that I like, it just doesn't feel right. It's not me, it's not fun, it's boring in that sense. And like then I get too caught up in the statistics, and it's just like at the end of the day, like, yes, it matters, but like not that much for real, you know. And heavy on like the energy through the video, like somebody, like you want to watch something that's like enjoyable, like somebody who loves what they're talking about, who's like beyond knowledgeable, or it's just like, I don't know. But if you're not really like feeling the content, then it's just like people want to connect, you want people to stay throughout the whole video. You don't want them to just stay like the first minute or 30 seconds. Like you want to keep them throughout the whole video. And so it's really important to make sure that not only you're doing stuff that, okay, will get trendy, get the views, but also do things that you want to do that may not at first get you all the views and all, but you have to start somewhere. But I think it's a good mix to, you know, incorporate both so that, you know, it can be still fun. Okay, next thing is gear and setup. So for me, for the longest, I used to actually film on an Android, but now I have a Canon EOS M200 or 300 camera. I spent like $700 on it back then, and mine was like, I think refurbished or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, like why is it so expensive? Like, but honestly, like you don't need, especially like in the start, to like film on some fancy camera or whatever. Like that does not matter. I feel like what really matters is the content and the person like filming, of course. And like, okay, of course, you know, we do like things that are like better quality and all, but I don't think that it's so much of a factor where it's like I can't start because I don't have this. Like, no, like there is so many people now. It may be a little bit more harder, but there's so many people that like blow off, and they might not, like, it literally look like they're filming off like a microwave or something like that. But like, hey, if the content is good, if you're a likable person, like, well, if you portray yourself to be a likable person, like it don't matter like what following or whatever you had before, like you finna pop off for real though, you know. And so I think that, you know, we get caught up in having like all of these devices and the latest iPhone and the latest camera and having like $1,000 cameras. Like, yes, those are nice. Like literally, I hope one day if it's in budget I can get that once I scale up more. But for right now, like I'm content with what I have, and it's okay. Like even if you buy like a 300 400 camera, whatever, make sure to do your research, of course. Don't just like buy cheaper ones just because it's cheaper, because you never know like how it can be like kind of like sometimes with like not just like quality, but mainly like, I don't know, just make sure to do your research if you do end up buying a big one. But you don't need to buy like the biggest, the most expensivest one. You can really start with your iPhone. I feel like if you have at least like an iPhone 8, I feel like that's pretty fine, because I used to film with my 7, with my XR, with my 11 for the longest though too. And even if you use the back camera, that looks way much more better than using the front camera, at least for the phones that I have had. I don't know how it's like for the iPhone 16 and 15 and all those now. Probably it's good both ways, but you know, you just gotta like test things out, try it, and like, you know, get creative with that. But don't feel like you have to get that, because like, let's be real, like in this economy right now, who got the money like that? Creating posts and all. And so I kind of already touched based on this, but honestly, like, yeah, it's so important. Like I feel like in the beginning, like, yes, it's good to like focus on like the kinds of videos and like the niche, and like, you know, videos that you will like, and then trendy videos and incorporating that. But I think it's also important to at some points incorporate other specs, and so that can mean like, you know, thumbnails, and not just using the automated generated one, you know, but also like creating them on your own. And there's many platforms that you can use. I used to use Fonto, Tessa, something like that, but now, oh, and Pixar, but now I fully use Canva all the time. And like, I feel like that has been a game changer in my content, that because you want people to like be drawn to like click on it. Like if you look at it, or if you were to show like your friend or your mom or whatever and be like, would you click on this video? And if you know good and well that you wouldn't click on it, what is the odds that somebody else would want to click on it, you know? And so I think that it's important, like, you know, you don't have to be like too heavily, but at least like starting to lean into, you know, adding more of those things where you can be more searchable, be more like appealing for people to want to click on the videos. And that's why it's also important for keywords and stuff. The main website that I use is Rapid Keys. It's free, which I like. Now they've changed it where it's like you get like 3 searches a day, and I'm like, but literally, I swear, literally 2-3 weeks ago it was not like that. Like I was like searching up stuff. But yeah, it's so important to incorporate SEO not only in your bio but also in the tag section. Another thing about thumbnails too is that the main colors that, you know, that can be more appealing and for people to be more inclined to click on your video is if they're the 3 colors, red, yellow, blue. That's what I've always heard. I've tried to incorporate it, but then I've liked more pastel colors, so I just do what I want. But I feel like where I'm at in my channel, it's at a good point to where we're having good rhythm. Now there's some days where I may not remember as much to do the bio, because like, not gonna lie, like even on a video like this today, I was supposed to have this out at 6 p.m. Like, let's be so for real, it's literally 7:24 and it's probably not even gonna be posted at 8:30 today. But you know what, I would rather have a quality video rather than me rushing to do this earlier, which I should have done it earlier. I mean like earlier today, not like days before earlier. I should have done it days early before. Let's be real. And that's another thing though too, like just prioritizing quality over quantity always. And that's something that I'm really trying to get better at that too. So there's some days where it's just like, I know that video is bad, you know what, I'm gonna post it the next day and let it be. And yeah, so I feel like that's pretty much, you know, kind of like the tips and tricks, at least for like posting, when it comes to like posting content, just that realm of it. So yeah, for my next points, I kind of already covered and like touch base on that, but you know, there's some other things that I can incorporate about it. But it's basically like how the algorithm works and everything, and each platform has its own separate thing and whole ball game. Like I feel like for the most part, like there's some core principles and, you know, similarities in a sense, but it's just a whole nother game changer. But I think one big thing that like will really help you and for this whole algorithm thingy is your first 25 videos matter so much, y'all. Like, I kid you not, it is so important. And that's just YouTube's way, from what I've heard, but YouTube's way of just like, I don't know, like that's, I feel like the most when they'll like push out your videos, or like, you know, like it's just crucial to make sure that like those videos are quality, that they're actually good. Not to say that the other videos after 25 aren't gonna matter, but that's like your first impression. Like imagine your first impression to somebody, right? Like you want those, like the first interactions, the first few days, weeks, months going on, of course, to go well. But that first initial period, like, you know, and that's kind of like how I'm like comparing it to YouTube and all. And you want to make sure that like, because you never know, like I feel like for a lot of people, like you see those channels where it's like, oh yeah, like their first, I don't know, one of the first 10 videos that they made, one of those ones went viral, and it's just like, then they start to grow and everything like that. And like sometimes I'd be like, dang, like, you know, like I wish and all that it can go like that viral. But then it's also like, well, also I started mine like a while back, so that's like a whole different like situation to compare it to. But you know, in reality though, like I think it's important because of that. You know, people do get lucky and go viral in that sense, but I think that your odds are of course increased when you like start a brand new of anything, to be honest. Not to say that like, you know, it's not possible if you already have a following, but it can be harder, especially like if the algorithm like doesn't push it out anymore as much as you go, like, does that make sense in a way? Like, at some point, or there might be periods where like the algorithm won't push you out as much, but on the early stages, you know, your first 25 videos, like it's pretty like more likely like you're to do good, or like they'll try to like see how your content is doing, and if it does well, then they'll continue to push out more and more. And so yeah, make sure if you get anything out of this, once again, your first 25 videos and you'll be all set. Keywords, keywords, keywords. Cannot stress that enough though too, but you need your keywords. And a good way you could also use is Google Trends. A lot of my video ideas, like, it's of course content that I like, things going on in my life right now currently, but a lot of them I also get from like either Google search, a YouTube search, or TikTok search, and I'll put the topics, let's say college, in the topic name, and I'll like word it similarly, or even sometimes exactly the same way somebody else worded it, because it's just a title also. But because, you know, especially when it's like that time of the year, like right now it's like school season. If you haven't started your school videos, what are you doing right now? Because honestly, like, this is the time when they will literally like peak. And that's another thing though too, like, and that's like with any social media platform once again, but it's so important to get early, but not too early, of, you know, holidays and life events and just all these certain things. And if you implement these things, like, you know, like, there's no doubt, I feel like at least you'd get 100 views, and that's pretty good, especially to start off for like your first few videos. So just be on board with not just with the trends, but holidays going on at the time, but also still doing things that you want, and you should be good. You should be. Okay, and last but not least is just some things, mistakes to avoid. And honestly, like, for me, I feel like my biggest thing that I struggle with is consistency. And honestly, like, I feel like maybe my channel would be at different numbers right now if I was more consistent. And all the time I would switch my niche too. That was another huge thing though. But you know, at the end of the day, like, it's never that serious, you know. But also, like, you don't want to leave like your people, okay, it's never that serious when it comes to the niche, even though that can be like really huge, because if you like switch your niche and like a whole lot of your people watched your other content, and now it's like you gotta rebuild your new audience because your other audience might not like the other content, the new content that you're trying to make. And so it's really just so important to make sure you be careful when you switch niches, because I did that 2-3 million times, y'all, and I definitely felt the ramifications of that. So yeah, definitely that. And then, okay, going back to the consistency thought, but yeah, so do a manageable, you know, amount of videos a week. You don't have to go crazy and do 3 or even posting every single day. Oh my gosh. Now the only time I could really see that as valid is Christmas, because I did that, but also I was burned out. Don't do too much that you can't handle, you know. At the end of the day, like, once again, it's never that serious, but also, like, I feel like it gives some, you gotta give people time to watch your videos, and also time to be like excited and, you know, to want to watch, like, oh, like on Wednesday and Friday she's posting, I can't wait, I'm gonna tune in at this time. That's another thing though too, make sure to like try to keep consistent the time. Once again, I am terrible, I cannot be a hypocrite at this, because I literally am, to tell you guys this. But if you really want to see like changes and like improvement on your channel, consistency is key, and the algorithm loves to see that too. And so yeah, and I think honestly, like, my last, you know, thing to say is to have fun with this, you know. Like, one thing that like I've been really trying right now in my life, not pertaining to YouTube but just other things, is just like, don't be so hard on yourself. There's so many people that wants their viral moment or to make money off of this. This shouldn't be another extra added stress, y'all. There is so much going on, at least for in my life, to make this another added stress. Like, no, don't like make it to the point where it's just like where you're burned out, and then it's like you don't even want to post for like a whole nother month, you know. Like, this is supposed to be fun. That's what I feel like social media is about, is just having fun, being your authentic self. You don't have to go crazy and do like a million bazillion like edits for a video. Like, I feel like people, that sometimes it can be like a lot. Maybe life is too short and so unpredictable to you know, once again, like add on another added stress. And I think also, okay, last thought, but for those who may deal with like I've gotten this one a lot though too, but like, you know, like what other people think and stuff like that, at the end of the day, like it is so hard to please people. Like that's why at this point, like I just do things because I want to, you know. And at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't like what you say, or especially like even like not the best comments, there's this one video like I literally posted like a month ago, and it was about me like leaving the church and all, and it's just like I just did not entertain those comments. I just refer them to another video, and if they don't like that video, then it is what it is. At the end of the day, like I already have so much on my plate, and if you don't like me or if you don't like my content, then that's on you. It's also weird because it's like at the end of the day, like it's kind of like for somebody to have try to have so much say over your life when they don't even know you, and especially it'll be those people, and it's just like side-eye, and it's just like at the end of the day, like you just gotta live for you. It's gonna be hard. It is impossible to please everyone, so that's why you should just go for it and start your channel now. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Peace is already out.